I was watching a video by TD Hip Hop Media, and shout out to him. And I most likely will leave the link to his commentary because it's closely related to what I'm talking about. And that is the state of California. The state of California, now I can see why they've earned that title, the most liberal state in America, because they do some of the most dumbest things. I mean, I could go through a whole laundry list of all the bills and laws they put in and passed in that state alone over the vast last maybe 5 years or so. Because I've talked about a good majority of them. So many, in fact, you would think that I lived in the state of California. There's some people in California that didn't even know about some of those laws they were passing until they saw me talk about it. And some probably don't even know about this law until they heard me talk about it, or maybe TD Hip Hop Media or anyone else that they listen to that has talked about this, because they probably most likely didn't get it from lamestream media, which wouldn't surprise me. So you're looking at this right here on your screen. It says California Dem bill will allow non-citizens to become police officers. Now, they put a disclaimer here. They put an editor's note. It says, editor's note, Skinner's bill would only allow legal immigrants who are not in the U.S. on a green card or another form of legal visa to become police officers. It would not allow undocumented immigrants to become police officers in California, as that would be a violation of federal law. For now. That's what they should have ended it off with, for now. How much you want to bet they're going to slip something in there through the cracks? Because eventually a lot of them are all going to start looking and sounding the same. I mean, after all, they allowed undocumented immigrants to vote in the state of New York. I think TD said on his channel that they only had to be, I think, in the state for 30 days. I'm sure if I'm wrong, you can watch it in his video, but something about 30 days. I said 30 freaking days. If you go and look at his channel, look at that video, that's the comment I left. 30 freaking days. They literally are leapfrogging over everybody who has to work twice, 3, 4, 5 times, 10 times harder to get something, and they're literally doing the leapfrog thing. We've talked about leapfrogging on this channel, what feels like every quarter for the last few years. Remember, I talked about what's going on down at Hampton University with the Ukrainian refugees, allowing 50 to 100 to come there for free. When you got your own students there that are struggling right now, you know, to pay, or loans, grants, scholarships, the living conditions, and you about to set up a damn country club for some people that's not even from here and have a whole bunch of different customs. And that's what worries me about this. It's already bad enough that black people have a bad rapport with the police nowadays as it is, and now you want to put non-citizens who come from a different set of customs into this cycle. And the LAPD, assuming that's where they put them at, has a bad reputation right now as it is. I told you, they in my top 5 most corrupt police departments. They number 2. NYPD will always, for me, be number 1. But I'm gonna go ahead now and read this article that was posted on April 6, 2022. A new California bill will allow non-citizens to become police officers in the state. Existing law, with certain exceptions, prohibits a person who is not a citizen of the United States from being appointed as a member of the California Highway Patrol. This bill will remove prohibition and will make conforming changes, the bill states. SB, which should stand for some bullshit, 960, proposed by Democrat Senator Nancy Skinner, will remove the provision that an individual must be a citizen or permanent resident of the United States in order to become a police officer. The bill makes no distinction between legal and illegal immigrants. That's why they had to put that note in there. That's why they put that note in there to say, well, that's not entirely true. I have a feeling a butt is in there. Y'all know what I said about a butt. A butt is, you know, is a precursor to BS. The bill was previously voted on at the end of March with 4 ayes and 1 no. Democratic Senator Stephen Bradford, Sidney Kamlager, and Scott Wiener, along with Skinner, all voted in favor of the bill. Senator Rosalisi Okabo, that's what a hell of a name, a Republican, voted no. The bill allows for legal immigrants to become police officers, a source familiar with the bill told Fox News Digital. However, the language in the bill itself does not specify that illegal immigrants are barred from doing so. The term illegal immigrant was unnecessary to include, as other sections of federal law already barred illegal immigrants from becoming officers, the source continued. This bill only allows those who are living here legally and have the legal ability to work here through a visa or green card to become peace officers. I just want to be clear on that, said Senator Skinner at a March 22nd Senate Public Safety Committee. The bill received its second reading on Tuesday and is now on to its third. This comes on the heels of the Biden administration's announcement to lift the Title 42 health policy despite migrant surge concerns. After considering current public health conditions and an increased availability of tools to fight COVID-19, such as highly effective things and therapeutics, the CDC director has determined that in order suspending the right to introduce migrants into the United States is no longer necessary, the Center for Disease Control said in a statement. Title 42 was implemented on March 2020 during the Trump administration as a means of expelling illegal immigrants during the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite Democratic support to drop Title 42, both moderate Democratic and Republican lawmakers have expressed concern for the possible migrant surge that could result. Former Trump White House advisor Stephen Miller said it would open the floodgates on a biblical scale. I agree. Like I said, to the people who live in the state of California, y'all better keep a watchful eye on this one. They are literally letting any and everybody just come into these spaces. But we saw that this was going to happen. I mean, they literally are about to turn the United States into a very migrant-heavy nation. And I do mean a very heavy migrant nation. And if y'all have never been to New York, like if you go into like the city, it's very immigrant heavy. Well, New York as a whole is very immigrant heavy. But if you go to the city, you'll see a whole melting pot of people. Like I remember when I was up there years ago, me and my family, we went to Times Square, and I swear I think I heard almost every accent and dialect that you could think of, to the point where I didn't even realize I was in New York anymore. You would have thought I was in some foreign land. Like I've heard, people, they were speaking French, people were speaking Chinese, Italian, Haitian, the Haitian and Jamaican dialect, Caribbean dialect, French. I think I said French, and a bunch of other little dialects and everything like that. It's just a huge melting pot up there. Imagine if that was how it was in every single state in America, which is the direction they're trying to go. America definitely won't look like America anymore. I'll tell you that. But yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Now I'm looking at some of these comments, and one person said, and yet you have to legally work in the U.S. You need to be legally work in the U.S. You need to be a citizen or follow the federal laws for work permits. So Cali is just going to ignore that little inconvenience. Not surprising. Sorry about that. I hit my headphones. I'm trying to read some more of these comments and see what else people are talking about when it comes to this, because this is absolute, in my opinion, ridiculous. And like I said, this is a trickle down effect. It's a domino effect. Someone else says, I really can't believe these stories are true. What is wrong with people? You break the law by illegally entering our country, so you get to vote, get a driver's license, kids get school, your family gets medical and money, and now you can be someone that enforces the law. I have an idea, a proposal for a constitutional amendment to revoke all states on the West Coast from being a part of the U.S. You can call it whatever you want, or you can call it, or do it. You can do whatever you want, but you do it on your own, and you have to have a legal visa to come into the rest of the U.S. I can say the same thing about Florida, because they're doing a lot of BS down there. Someone else said, and federal law prohibits a non-citizen nor legal resident from owning, possessing a firearm. State law does not supersede federal law. Yeah, this is not going to end well. I need the people who live in California, all my California subscribers who are watching this video at the sound of my voice, I need to hear from you. What is your take on this law? I mean, I'm definitely going to take into consideration everything else that everyone is going to say who doesn't live in the state, but especially California. Because it seems like California is a hotbed for a lot of weird laws. It's like they pass a lot of stuff in California, and somehow it may or may not leave the state. Hopefully it stays in California. I wish it didn't have to hit California. But I have a feeling that this is going to carry on down to other states. Like, this is only the beginning. Don't be surprised when other states pop up and they say the same exact thing.